folks, it's Sandra Pike here from Page Atlantic and the Pike Group. Thanks so much for tuning in. So today I'm with Lisa Beaupre, and we have been working together now on all of my listings since 2011. And Lisa, I want to say you're the best stager in all of Halifax, and I love working with you and just the transformation of all the homes that we list. And it's such a surprise when I go back and I see how much work the client's done. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, and how you got into the industry, and then we'll just take it from there.
Yep. So my business is Lisa Beaupre Home Style Solutions.
Yeah.
Started 5 years ago, and just kind of soaked my feet into it because it was really in an early stage of the staging world here in Halifax.
Absolutely.
And it's growing to being almost a must on every home.
I agree.
Right?
So why do you feel that people should stage their homes? Like, what difference have you seen? Because I mean, you just don't work with me, you work with other agents. So talk to me about, what you've seen in the past and why it worked.
Yeah, well, the misconception, first of all, is that staging is not just fluffing cushions and decorating. It's definitely not decorating. It's really trying to show the full potential of what your product that is for sale. And you're selling space and not stuff.
I agree. So, what are some of the tips that you would recommend, when we're going into someone's house? Like, what would you say, if you went into a client's house? What would be the...
I think you got to start, I think more and more, the more I'm doing this, you got to start strategizing better on what you're selling, right?
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
Got to listen to your realtor on the industry and what's going to make your house stand out outside from the rest that's out there, because we are definitely in a buyer's market.
Oh, it's crazy. A rough market now.
It's crazy, and we're in a world of very technology world. People are busy. People are into the technology, but the hands-on put a high price to prepare a house for sale.
Absolutely. So one of the things I know that you've talked to my clients about is decluttering and depersonalizing your home. What's the benefit of that?
Oh my God. You got to disconnect from the way we live. My house would need staging if I put it for sale.
Same here.
Right? How you live is one thing. How you sell your house is another. It's the same thing as preparing, trying to sell a car. What are you going to do? You're going to take all the junk out inside. The more you polish it up, the better it is for sale, right?
It's all about the sexy look. And I used to sell advertising actually before I got into this gig, and I tell my clients, like, your house is like an ad, and it has to show its best, because it's not about you anymore as the seller, because you need to get that buyer through the door, right? Like, you only live once, well, you only list once, right?
It's sensitive, and we can talk about the staging and preparing your house for sale. We could talk for hours on what needs to be done, but it's like selling anything. It's like if you're going for an interview for a job and you really want that job. Well, you're not going to go to the gym and not shower and just put a suit on and put some spray on, because first impression, you can't fool somebody at that point. So it's the same thing with a house. Sometimes we try to... Cleanliness is so important.
Oh my goodness,
Decluttering,
yes.
showing the space for what it's worth. If you have a room that is like really small and has no purpose, put something in your house that's going to stand out, that's going to want the buyer to say, yeah, I want that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? And everybody's looking for luxury, and it's all price point relevant.
I agree. And you know what? It doesn't matter if you're listing a $150,000 house or if you're listing a house that's $1.5 million. You have to be your best.
Yeah.
If you're showing like a $150,000 house, that client who you're attracting in, they have an expectation. I mean, just like that house we're working on right now, right? That if we don't help that, our client get that house, and even just putting a backsplash in, because we're attracting, you always have to think of the clientele who you're attracting. So at $150,000, you're attracting someone, let's say 24 to 32. She has an expectation when she comes into that house, right? Yeah.
You gotta kind of want to, don't cut corners.
Yes,
I
absolutely.
find we're cutting a lot of corners. I'm doing a lot of jobs, and they're not done to the fullest, and the house sit there for so long on the market, and it's disappointing. And I always tell people, you don't want to overspend when you're preparing your house on the market. 1 to 3% is a norm of what you should, of the value of your home that you should be able to put into the house without going, because you can over prepare your house too.
And we don't want to do that.
No, I've seen homes where they've put $10,000-$20,000 into something that was to their best interest, and when it comes time to sell, it's just not a selling feature anymore. So preparing ahead of time, if you know you're selling a year or 5 years down the road, doesn't hurt to have a stager coming in and discuss, so that you're not stressed and saying, oh my God, I got to put my house in the next 2 weeks and I got all this to do, right?
What do you think of this comment? And I hear this this a lot. We send you in, and then now I'm talking to the client afterwards. Well, if I change the countertop, what's the sense? Because the buyer might not like it, but yet your countertop is, I don't know, the good old dusty rose color. Yeah. What are your thoughts of that comment?
No, I have to disagree with you there. People know what they like with what they see. We have so much new construction going out there. We have all these shows going on TV. We see all these glamorous rooms and homes, and the expectations are high. Yes. So if you're selling a used home, you gotta make it look spectacular, or else the buyer is saying, I'm in the lead here. There's so much out there. I'm gonna keep on looking until I find one that is move-in ready. It's all. And I've sold, or I shouldn't say sold, but I've staged homes where, let's say it was a very dated house. There was very little budget, but what we managed to do is price it well enough, declutter it so that the person can appreciate the space that's for sale, and they sold. But if you have an expectation of way too high and you're not willing to put the time and effort, and some people will say, well, no, somebody will choose their colors. They won't. They want that move-in ready. They may choose different colors later on, but there are some professional colors that you can use that will match with whatever furniture you have. You don't have to alter, right?
No, I agree. And when it does come to buyers now, because the market is so competitive and people are busy, lifestyles are so different. Even when I think of my life now from 5 years ago, people are busy, they don't have time. Like, I just paint, well, you just helped me paint my house. And, that was a month ago. And I still have to finish off getting, different towel fixtures that I want to hang. And I just don't have the time to get out to do it. So imagine a buyer buying a 2,000 square foot home. They don't have the time. They just want to come in, unpack, drop their bags, get back to work, get back to the family. Full stop. That's what they want to do. Would you not agree?
Oh, I agree 100%.
Yeah.
But it's got to be done tastefully, and people got to give in. Give in, and I'm not sure if I'm using the right terminology.
No,
here.
I agree.
They got to step up to the plate, right? And take the time to do it right. I will have clients also recommend painting, and they'll say, "Oh, I'll paint myself," but they're not good painters.
No,
it's bleeding on the ceiling. It's not done properly. It's not tasteful. The colors are not, and we always want to get that, do it cheaper, but you know what, at the end of the day, if you do it right and you spend the money properly and you do it right firsthand, it's going to cost you less than a price drop at the end of the month.
Oh, you know what, remember that place we had and we'd recommended the client change the flooring? We had I want to say about 27 showings on that property, and everywhere around us it was houses were selling. And this one particular house wasn't. And all the comments we got were the flooring. And if we had spent the money up front, the $5,000, we could have had that house sold, I feel, a lot longer. So it really does pay when you think that, that I'm not going to do it, really put the money up front, because it'll make the difference. And the other thing I hear, and I'm sure, you've run into this too, when we're working with our clients, that they don't like the color that you're picking. Mm-hmm. But it's not about me as a seller. It's about that buyer coming in and getting things ready for them. So if there was one thing that you would have to tell a seller right now about, do this before you list, what would it be? The most important thing?
Oh my God, declutter. There's so many. Every home is different, right? They're so different, but be comfortable of having a stager coming in. A lot of times I find that there's that discomfort having a stranger coming in, but you know what? Having a fresh eye that's unrelated to you, that is actually looking at the house and really have the same goal, right? Yep. We're having the same goal. I'm there to help you sell your house the fastest and get the best bang for your dollar. Trust, it's confidential. I'm there to help. I'm not there to criticize. I'm not there to intimidate your lifestyle. There to really achieve that main goal.
And
let's
thank you for helping me to sell the houses that I've sold.
Thanks for working with me.
Well, folks, that's a wrap for today. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you have any more questions, you can reach us at thepikegroup.ca or 406-SOLD. All the best. Take care.